Y'all better proceed with caution. My team in the top 10 believe in the process. Pull up, then we pulling out trays like we bartender save here. I'm God's in the space with the Martians. Fuck fame, cause the fame is what made me so heartless. We will never be the same, people, the things I accomplished. Flow so dope that you may need some boxing. Whoa. Said they really want to feature till I hit them like no. Austin Powers in the cut, never lost my mo.
All right, guys, what's going on? I am the one, the only, the WOOKIE. We're Ewokless, just in time for Festivus. We got Jupiter, though. Word up! There's Jupiter. I was like, where did he go? Did he leave already? And we got Drazcor. Hi, Drazcor.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
I don't know if we have Dan, and I was really hoping to have Dan for Festivus. I really was.
Seems up his alley, right?
But it is Festivus. For those of you who are unaware of what Festivus is, go get some culture and watch a Seinfeld episode. It is that time. We have hung our plain aluminum poles in the center of our Keyforge community, and it is time to do the traditions. We need to bring some miracles, some feats of strength. And then we'll get... I don't know if we should, you guys ever heard of the manager sandwich?
What, like the compliment?
You compliment
opportunity
it,
area compliment?
Right? And then you just absolutely just beat the shit out of them. And then you put a compliment behind it.
There you go.
That's the manager sandwich. I'm not sure if we should do that or not.
Every employee loves it when you do that, by the way.
Yeah.
They're like, this is the best.
But we're gonna start out. With some Keyforge miracles. What miracles have we had this year, guys? Anybody got a Keyforge miracle?
I have a Keyforge miracle that a long time ago, when I first was playing the game and it was kind of kicking off and stuff like that, my friend Brent Pendragon, you guys might know him from Coat, but he had opened a deck for, I think it was a Christmas present, believe it or not, but it was He Who Tumultuously Jokes About Nothing. And now this deck has found its way into my collection when he basically started to go back, that he was going to move it, but he had always promised that he would, if he was going to sell it or get rid of it, he would make sure he talked to me first about it. And he ended up honoring that almost a year and a half later, and I now own the deck. To me, that's pretty miraculous because the deck is absolutely insane and it's perfect kind of deck for me as far as like the style of deck that I like. So with that said, that's my biggest Keyforge miracle of this year.
That sounds almost like a feat of strength, but we're going to go with miracle. We're going to go with miracle. I think we had a huge Keyforge miracle this year, right? We had KFPL. Our KFPL. We had KFPL. That is a Christmas or Festivus miracle. But we also had Keyforge Live, which I think was a huge Keyforge miracle. Like, I'm not trying to toot AC's own horn here or, pat myself on the back or whatever. But, I don't know where Keyforge is without Keyforge Live right now. I mean, let's be honest. We have a lot of online stuff. The stuff Jupiter does with KFPL is fantastic, and the Coat guys, and who's the other one? I'm drawing a blank.
ABR.
ABR.
The new Swindle teams, which I got a team with Dr. Sheep and Uglook going, so that's fun.
But I think without the in-person meetup, I don't know. I think it was kind of the thing we were all craving. Right, we needed it. It happened at the right time, which I think is why it did, find so much success in the way it did. But it was kind of like it just hit the spot, and it really, really panned out.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good things that came of it. I was sad that I wasn't able to go, but I was kind of there.
We were all sad.
I was watching all that I could watch on there, enjoying it, and even having something like that fun to watch was great for me. So yeah, I would say that was huge. Another thing too that is come along, like we mentioned teams and stuff, but I want to give a big shout out to the Final Swindle people because they kind of are championing the tournament scenes and the circuits now. They've been actually helping me out a little bit with KFPL and stuff like that, and we're talking about maybe moving over into that. Because as you know, I'm trying to kind of fade out a little bit and get back to doing media and stuff. But it's hard because a lot of the stuff I'm doing right now was by myself and stuff. So now we're in kind of a place where, we have some people from AC, we have some people from Swindle. Like the community is pulled together to kind of keep KFPL afloat and keep it moving, at least until we see what happens with these promises that were made by FFG for an online thing and stuff. So TCO is another miracle, right, from Keyforge, a huge miracle because
Very much so.
the game is very dead without TCO. So, and then there's a lot of leagues and stuff, and there's just a lot of the community is a miracle, right? Like I think the community is huge. Because without us, FFG doesn't have a game. Like they've done very little, but we'll save that for grievances.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into grievances. That might be the longest portion of the show. I know, like Ewok does a fantastic job of trying to keep the show very light and very like not Wookiee complaining a lot. I have a lot of complaints. I do.
But now he's not here to rein you in. Is that where you're going with this?
But Ewok ain't here, man. That's what I'm saying. Ewok's not. Of course, I'll catch hell for it next week because he's down in the happiest place on Earth, Disneyland. And that's all I know. I know, like he's gonna listen to this. And he's just gonna be like, "Oh, that Wookiee." And
he's gonna be yelling in his car.
Yep, and he's gonna tell me all the reasons I'm wrong. All the reasons I'm wrong. Right? Like that's a thing that's 100%. He's like, no, that's not correct. But it is. But it's not. We'll see. Either way. What do you got, Mr. Drazcor, for miracles for the Keyforge community?
Experienced a Keyforge miracle very recently. So I myself opened a Legacy Maverick. So these are very rare, right? So it's a legacy card that has been mavericked into a different house. So I have a Legacy Maverick Vault Keeper in Worlds Collide in House Dis. This is the only Vault Keeper in the entire Worlds Collide set, which is kind of fun, and it's kind of cool to see the Vault Keeper with the Dis background.
Which would be would be an even bigger miracle. I'm sorry, I mean I have a Christmas tree cake. If y'all have never had,
you mean a Festivus pole cake?
Nope, this is a pure-on Little Debbie Christmas tree cake. And if you have never had yourself a Little Debbie Christmas tree cake, go to your local whatever gas station. Doesn't matter. They have them, and you need to buy 2, one for now and then one for later.
And if you're a Little Debbie employee or a person that has any clout, we will take sponsorships.
Absolutely. I have no problems getting paid in Christmas tree cakes, especially like in the middle of July, because they are the oldest
as much as we can.
That's right. That is 100% correct. But I was going to say, what would be an even bigger miracle is if that deck's any good. Is it any good?
It's okay. It's kind of weird. It's got 3 exiles, which makes it interesting. So you can pump up your Saurians with a bunch of Ember and then just keep exiling them. It's got 3 Kymork Eclipses, so you can exile them and then bounce them. So it's not great, but it's kind of fun to play. So that is, to me, that's pretty good. I'll take it. I was
usually
very
you
happy
find yourself
to have
with
opened it. It was cool to see over in Sanctimonious. You had Sky Jedi post anytime there's a Legacy Maverick opened, which is not too often. Although there's been a couple recently, but so I was able to respond to that and post a picture of the card, which was fun, and just to share that with the community.
Normally, when you find those super rare cards, the deck's just absolute hot trash.
Yeah, it's a 72. It's okay. It's not bad.
I feel like that was mostly the case for Lateral Shift.
You're right.
The amount of Brobnar lateral shifts I've seen was like their attempt to make Brobnar decent, I guess. I
don't know why they just didn't make it a Brobnar card. Anybody else? We got any more miracles? No more miracles?
I will say, many Christmases ago, I went to buy a first edition coded deck for my daughter, and I reached for the last one they had, but so did another man. And as I rained blows down upon him, I realized there was another way.
And that would be?
It was Festivus.
Oh,
Did you guys rewatch the? I rewatched the.
I didn't rewatch
Clips.
the episode. No.
That was a quote. That's Frank says that to Kramer about a doll that he's trying to buy for George.
That's right.
So,
I remember the doll now.
Joke went over really well. I'm really.
I didn't remember that. Like, I should have rewatched the episode. It was funny. Like, I was trying to tell my children what Festivus was, and I had to like put the thing on, and I totally forgot about the doll and all that jazz. But I thought maybe you were being legit and like saying there's another way. I'm like, what is it? What is it? I want to know.
It's Festivus.
It's Festivus. Yep. Is that your feat of strength?
That could have been. That could have been. Yes, that's one of my feat of strength. Yes.
I think now I was watching a game yesterday. Speaking of feat of strength, and I guess maybe we'll keep feat of strength and like miracle together, because I watched Dan pilot a Pit Lord deck 2 days ago, and that could have been both. I don't know. Like, it's a miracle it did that well. But it was also like, I'm like, is he just... Wait a minute.
And he played the Pit Lord. He didn't just pilot a Pit Lord deck. He's like, I'm going to play the Pit Lord.
He played the Pit Lord, and like, he flexed on people with the Pit Lord. I was like, this is interesting. I like this. Well,
I think people never see Pit Lord, and they're like, they don't... Maybe they don't stop to think. Like, I think pretty sure it was Ewok played down General Sherman, which purged the Pit Lord, right? And so now he's like, oh, I can do other things. it's like, hey, Ewok, what are you doing? I guess there was other things on the board he was trying to deal with, but I don't know.
I don't know what they were.
Yeah.
There was a charrette out there, but other than that, it was like, what? Why would you do that? Just let Dan wallow in his own self-pity. The only thing he could do, because not only was it a Pit Lord deck, it had shards in it too. So now you got a whole mess load of dead cards.
Yeah.
So all he could do is deal 2 damage to his Pit Lord every time. It was so humorous.
I did see him stun the Pit Lord, or exhaust. I think it was exhaust the Pit Lord the one time.
He exhausted his own Pit Lord. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, Dan is like a kid in a candy store right now, right? He as much as he doesn't want to admit he's turned into that guy, he's 100% turned into that guy who's just like, yeah, I'm purposely, what is that? In Magic, a commander deck. It's all bad cards or something like. I forget what the name of the deck is. But basically, it's like the worst cards you could possibly think of, I'm 100% playing. No matter what it is. Like, if it's a bad card, I'm playing it. And that's how I feel like, that's where I feel Dan is right now in life. Like, no matter how bad these cards are, I'm going to play them. Just to say I did it. And if I won, I'm 100% going to rub it in a little bit more. Just a little extra salt on that wound after I'm done. Jupiter, what do you got for feats of strength? I think you have probably the best feat of strength for most everyone.
Well, my feat of strength was that in the beginning of this whole process, right, for the Keyforge Premier League that we're talking about, I was basically brand new to any kind of social media / like craziness. WOOKIE can vouch for me because he was one of my mentors when I asked a lot of questions. Right. So Arthur took me in, kind of got me started, and I got this like crazy idea. And I was just like, you know what, I want to do this. And then COVID kind of struck and things got kind of crazier. And so I decided to go back to college to become a new media journalist. Now, mind you, my previous degree, my bachelor's degree, was in basically like general ed and art, right? Like it was like nothing major that was even remotely tied to this. So when I applied to Full Sail University, they made me write a dissertation basically about like why they think I should be able to be put in a program, since I'm starting at ground zero and basically I would have to work my ass off to catch up to it. Right. And so so I wrote my dissertation saying, I want to do this for Keyforge. I want to create a Premier League. I want to do this and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And to make a really long story short, a year later, I got my master's degree in new media journalism, and I created the KFPL. And so that's the quick story of how KFPL came to be and how much effort and time and money quote unquote, I put into making the KFPL. I know a lot of people don't understand the kind of work that goes into creating content and stuff like that. And I'd be more than glad to spend hours talking to you about it if you want. But I'm going to just assume you don't, and you just prefer to digest it.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. Like, the whole thing is like, we sit down for probably about an hour every week. We do have some discussions here and there throughout the week as it goes on. But more time than not, it takes me, roughly hour and a half, 2 hours to get the shows ready, typically, depending on like how dedicated I am, and what's all going on. Right, like on really, really, really awesome episodes where like everything goes like 1,000% to plan, and there's no big long pause gaps, and I'm trying to think like everything just goes right, and there's
Sound
no
quality is
weird.
balanced.
Yeah, so everything's balanced. Nothing is quirky or weird in the background that I have to try to take out that affects other sound quality elsewhere. I can get it done in 45 minutes, which is really, really good. It's the 99% of episodes that don't turn out that way that I gotta go fix. And you mess up. I'll be working on Drazkor's audio line, and I'll be taking something out. But if I take that out, it messes up somebody else's audio line, and then I gotta go fix that, and then it's a lot of back and forth. So a lot of time does go to it.
Should I mute myself before I blow my nose? Is that
that'd be great if you could do that.
All right.
I'm just gonna. Yep, there it is. Just suck it in, man. Just
Yeah, I mean that's the audio half, right? Like when I first did KFPL season 1, I decided I was going to record every game, so I got up at all hours of the day to record as many games as I could. Then I did like base like editing on it and like basically putting it together and stuff, and everybody like they were appreciative of it, right? But like all that work and stuff like that for people to watch 15 minutes of a 45-minute YouTube video, right? So that's why KFPL, like when I started evolving, I started going down to like lesser and smaller sampling sizes and stuff, faster speeds, lots of cutouts and stuff, which means my editing time went up 300
dramatically.
Times.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just like and like people don't understand that like when you're running like a TO, like now I'm TOing, like I did the this past month's event. I'm TOing it. I can't stream and TO at the same time. It's impossible. Well, it's not impossible, but highly unlikely that both sides would be turning out great. I wouldn't like die of stress. So until I find more things to go with, like I can't even do media, which makes KFPL kind of sour to me because like that's why I wanted to do it. So I don't know. Like we'll see what happens going forward and stuff like that. But I am very grateful for the time I have done things. I'm very grateful for the people like Scrouner and stuff who's always been around to support me and kind of encourage me. And and the Wookiees and the and stuff that basically are that helped and taught me and gave me this motivation, because now I have a skill set and like I want to do other things with it. Like I want to do my autism project and things like that. So there's like a lot of things in the future for me once KFPL is off of my book, so which will be like, it won't be before season 4. Season 4 is supposed to be the big party, right? Like that's my one that I want to go out with something nice on. So we're working on it, and March is when it kicks off, so stay tuned. It will happen.
Exciting.
It will happen.
Hopefully by March I'll be able to, because I've been dying to join a league or something like that. So I'm hoping by then I'll get staffed up and able to be able to actually play some games and all that jazz. Because 80 hours a week is a rough week. And,
that is a feat of strength.
Yeah, that is
a feat of insanity.
And you're still here to record Archon's Corner. What the hell, boy?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I was about ready to crash, and then I'm like, oh, gotta get up. I mean, that's why I didn't. I mean, I was supposed to have the owner of my company come into my store today. That didn't happen. So that was kind of like really disappointing. That I'm like, ugh. Like I'm when I think about it, I'm like, I missed a week of recording. Like I spent all that extra time in, then he just doesn't show up. But whatever, is what it is. Drazkor, what do you got for feats of strength, my guy?
All right. So here's what I did for feats of strength. I have a challenge for you guys. A question. All right. So just just like the aluminum Festivus pole, high strength to weight ratio is important. So, what Keyforge creature do you bring to the Feats of Strength Rumble? Go.
Narp. Oh, wait, that was kind of quick, wasn't it? Definitely
High
Narp.
strength to weight ratio. Okay,
Yeah.
Narp. All right. What are you doing? Jupe?
I have to bring Mugwump.
Mugwump.
Okay.
I knew he was
Okay.
going to go with Mugwump.
I had to bring Mugwump. He's still my favorite. If it's not Mugwump, it's Cleafy Dragon, but both will do fine for me.
Okay. So I went in a different direction. I said I want to bring. I thought about it for a moment. I was like, I want to bring Skixuno, the 1 power, destroy everything, and then get super powerful. So I felt like that was a high strength to weight ratio situation.
Yeah, it is. I would agree with you. Narp's just my favorite.
But Mugwump just kills things and gets bigger.
Mm-hmm.
This is true as well.
This is true.
Mine might be the worst. Mine says that his neighbors can't reap.
When is Narp not the worst in a scenario?
I don't know, man. You know how many people at that Vault Tour told me, like, man, Narp won me the game. Now, I don't know if that was because they exiled it to their opponent's board. And we're like, yeah, they can't reap no more.
Maybe it was a reversal match.
No, it was definitely not. I was there. It wasn't. If it
even a bad card can win you the game sometimes.
This is true. I was only ever thinking if it's not Narp for me, it's Bonesaw.
It doesn't win the game. It just is part of the end of the game.
Right. It's a card that effectively makes you lose the game. Oh man, I miss Narp. I miss Bonesaw. Good times had by all. What else you got? So that was your who are you bringing? I mean, I honestly. All right, now I got to think about this. All right, I'm gonna be legit. I said Narp because he's my favorite and he's my answer. He's my asshole answer for everything. High strength to weight ratio.
Yes, just like the aluminum Festivus pole.
Okay, so it's got to not have a lot of can't weigh you down, so it can't be a liability, right? But it's got to be a pretty strong creature. I'm thinking, who's the disc creature? I don't know. The disc creature, 2 power 5 armor.
The Harbinger of Doom.
Harbinger of Doom. Yeah,
thought about him.
Yeah.
Although I don't know with all that armor, is he heavy? I don't know. He's low power. I don't know.
Low power.
That's a good thought. Yeah.
Low power, high energy.
Yeah.
High energy output.
That's not bad. It's not a bad choice.
I like the Harbinger. I think there's some good choices, possibly. Well, no, because none of them have low power.
So what about something like Old Boomy?
You know what?
Old Boomy. There you
Old
go.
Boomy. Shaffles.
Little Rapskull.
Yeah. Shaffles, 1 power. Loses.
Ember
You got Ember Imp, another low power creature that's really powerful. First
big
turn,
old bang bang.
First turn Ember Imps have made me lose the game.
Mascus Asp.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
There's a lot of cards that are interesting.
Yeah.
Moon Cursor. There you go.
Like Bingo Bang Bang celebrates Festivus, I think.
I think Bingo Bang Bang does too.
Yeah, definitely.
You know who else does? Choda Hazri.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, low power wins games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is true, all of it. All right. So we've spent the first 30 minutes or so talking about all the good things that have happened this year for Christmas. But that's really not what Festivus is about. Or Festivus. I think I said Christmas. It's not what Festivus is about. Festivus is mainly about the airing of the grievances. And boy, are there a lot of them this year, all right? I'm going to cut it down. We're only going to go through 30 minutes of airing of the grievances. I'm going to go first. Does anybody mind if I go first?
Nope. Go ahead.
Got a lot of shit
After
to get
you,
off
sir.
my chest.
Okay, go for it.
All right. So first to start off, FFG. for deciding to literally break the game and just do nothing. So many wasted opportunities to do anything. And I don't think that the community is asking for much. I think the community is more than willing to wait on a new set. All right, I think the community is more than willing to wait on new content. However, you should not be relying on your community to be your organized play. And if you are going to rely on your community, which I can understand, times are tough. We did just get through a pandemic. The least you could do is offer support and help. That's one of my grievances. We'll go around the table. Jupiter, what you got for grievances?
I got a grievance with the ransomware hackers for being assholes, okay? And basically going after a game that was already like not even that important. Go get Magic or something that matters. Like, get off of our case. You guys are jerks.
I'm going to have to ask you.
Their servers.
What?
You heard me.
I heard you, but I don't understand you.
The
Please
hackers,
explain.
like, why would they pick a game like Keyforge where like?
Are you telling me that somebody hacked the system and this is why FFG lost the algorithm?
The ransomware?
That's the leading theory based on some things that have.
So I'm going to pretend it's true, right? Because that's the only one I accept.
That's the only one I accept. Okay,
and it's
fair enough.
And if it's not that, then FFG, my grievance is with you because you're the ransomware people because you lied like a mofo, which I don't think you did. But like, I think you did get ransomware, and I think you got burned, and like, obviously you should, like, you didn't even think highly enough of your game to protect it. So that's a pain in my ass.
Wait. Did FFG say that they got ransomware and that's how they lost the algorithm?
No, somebody else in the industry. So
somebody else said, yeah.
Okay. So Stephen Bonacore on his board game industry podcast said that he had heard from a good source, and Stephen Bonacore is very well connected, right? So he was the head of Stronghold Games for many years. He's since retired, and he said, "Hey, he had from a reliable source that what had happened was that they got ransomware attacked, and either it was more than they could pay, or decided they weren't going to pay, right? Because paying criminals is not necessarily a great strategy.
We all, I think a lot of us know about ransomware, right? Like 9 times out of 10, even if you do pay, you don't get your shit back.
That can happen. So, and so it was destroyed, right? And right, the algorithm was destroyed and everything else in there, right? And so, they probably spent some time trying to figure out how to recover, right? But they decided to start from scratch, right? And they're not a software company, right? As much as every company, but many companies should start to consider themselves software companies in this day and age, but they're not a software company. They don't really have developers per se, right? They had like a small division that they let go, right? They're not. It doesn't surprise me they don't have good IT practices. Who knows? The Keyforge algorithm could have been something Richard Garfield had built in Excel that they just tried to stack more VB on top of. Who knows, right? And so it's gone. It's gone. So that is what Steven said, and that because who Steven is, that caught some attention of folks and said, hey, this is, unless somebody's telling Steven a line, it's reasonably a reasonable guess that that's true.
I heard none of this. Now, there's a really good chance that this was during the time where I like I said, podcasts haven't been able to, they're not my thing right now. I haven't been able to listen to any because of the fact of, I'm working like 80 hours a week and all that jazz. So either way, it doesn't matter. Long story short, I had no idea, and I did not hear that rumor. And that's, I mean, I guess, like you said, like, yeah, they 100%, like, I don't know if they need to consider them a software company, but I do think that, like, hey, come on, man, like, it's 2021, right?
Yeah, like,
everything we do is held by a server somewhere. I took a poop this morning. I'm pretty sure it's in a server somewhere.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, it's
Like prove me wrong. You know what I mean?
uploaded
Like
to the cloud. Yeah.
right, it's probably in the cloud, like somebody's got a picture of it, whatever. But that's just this is the world we live in.
Mhm.
Like, and everyone knows this. But you know, like Sheep said, like, hey, this is 100% like businesses don't. I don't know if they don't see the value in it or like what their kind of idea is. Like why they don't see the value in like having like a really solid. What am I looking for? Like IT or defense
it's expensive
against this kind of thing.
Developers are expensive. Right?
Yeah, which would make even more sense to putting more money into protection. Because I mean I don't know, but I wonder how much it's going to cost them right now to like. Obviously, from what we've heard, they're building it from the ground up.
Right. Well, they hired a software company,
right?
Gaming software
right.
company to do it.
How much is that costing them?
It's hard to say.
Well, ballpark me. You're in the biz. Ballpark me. I mean, give me a roundabout idea. I'm not asking for an on the spot, but get me within a few, tens of $1,000s, and I'll be happy.
$1 million.
Million, easy.
I mean, I just threw that out there, right? So
1.5. Could it go 1.5?
A team of developers.
$1 million $1 million in like shares and like what comes of it.
Yeah.
Like I would think they would want to get basically a percentage of profits, especially if they're like firmly behind it.
Yep, that could be for sure, right? They could have worked out some sort of deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there is some hope. I don't know if you saw this, Wookie, but there's some hope that things are progressing. So there was a Twitter post from one of the Keyforge developers, and he just posted top 5 games he's played like recently. And 2 through 4 or 2 through 5 were whatever they were, doesn't even matter. Number 1 was Redacted. And that's literally like the Keyforge card.
Like it was named Redacted?
Yeah, bracket Redacted, close bracket. And so, of course, people start.
This gives us ideas that maybe it's Keyforge.
Yeah, like maybe he's playtesting, right? Because I think he said playtesting. Actually, I think that's what he said. He said it was playtesting. And so people are like pinging him pictures of the Redacted card and stuff. And he didn't really say yes or no. He like smiled or he said, winked or something, like something like that was his response, right? Which is certainly not definitive by any means, but gives you hope. Gives you hope.
I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that this game's coming back at some point in time. Like, it's a thing that will happen. Like, I think the bigger question is how long.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't know. Obviously, there's a very devout group of us who are still around.
Yep.
It's about 100 people, from what I can tell.
I mean, we've got
there's more than
people
100.
we've got 100 people on ABR alone. Right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's about 100 people of very devout. Right, I think that's fair to say.
The Italians have that by themselves, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot more than that.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of people that are still around the game. I'd say like a good solid number of devotees, maybe 500. Like
500.
400 to 500, which is still not a lot, but for a game that hasn't really ever produced anything, that's pretty crazy. And again, that's like that is a miracle, right? Like that.
What do you mean by a game that hasn't produced anything?
Like it's not doing anything. Like all the things that have been good for us in the last 2 years have been community based. They haven't been from OP or anything else.
Which is so fucking sad. It's so sad that the biggest thing that this game has produced is community based. There's another grievance for me.
Yeah,
I'm taking over them. It's sad. Like, there's no reason the community should be the ones driving this game. Like, I will tell you, there's probably a Star Wars and a Star Trek community from the old. There's at least 500 people from the old Decipher stuff that's been dead since 2008, or maybe 2000 before that, maybe 2005, 2004. I don't.
Shadowrun does that too, right? Like,
yeah,
they have their own thing.
I mean, it's a thing that exists, but like for the best things to come out of Keyforge, especially in a whole year, I mean, we talked about like our miracles just not too long ago, and what do we talk about? We talked about Keyforge Live, KFPL, and all the shit the community is doing. Like, speak up at any point in time, FFG. Any point in time. Like, I understand you got other games going on, and there's stuff like outside your control, but come on, do something. This entire year, or at least half the year, you could have at least been doing events. Bare minimum doing events. I mean, look how many people still showed up to Keyforge Live.
Let's hope that in the near future that they take some thought out of this and take this hiatus this time to just make things better, right? Like I still have a small bit of hope, right? Like a bit of hope that in the end this is for the best, right? Like I think that now is the time with the hiatus and stuff like that we have a chance to kind of like reset the game, right? Like and do the things that needs to be done. But the thing is that they're going to have to be very efficient about how they reset and make sure that when they come back, they're ready to come back. Like we can't have a trip up of any sort when they come back. They need to come out blazing and make us go, man, this is exactly what we always wanted, right? Like anything less, like even the most loyal people will quit. Like there's other games that are starting to prosper that are doing things very correctly. So
right, or at least we think they're doing things very correctly.
Well, their profit margins and their base is growing. So
well, I mean, and for those of you missing out, Dan's not here. We're just gonna say it. It's flesh and blood, right? Like we're just gonna say it.
It's not just flesh and blood.
MetaZoo is doing it too. I mean, they're MetaZoo and Flesh and Blood are going about it two kind of different ways.
Yes, they are. And then you have My Hero Academia starting to pick up steam. Like there's a lot of games that are coming out and they're basically getting fan base, right? Like I'm not trying to be a homer for any one of them. Like I have my picks of like what I like, but at the same time I love Keyforge and like I still am promoting Keyforge. I'm still trying to bring new people into Keyforge. I'm still looking for sponsors. Like there's a lot of things about Keyforge I'm still doing, but I just don't have as much. It's harder for me to sell Keyforge at this point because of the lack. I can't say they got a great company behind them. That's impossible for me to say at this point because I haven't seen that. Like I feel like I've done more for them than they've done for me. So like it's very tough. So I've been a cheerleader since day one. Like I quit Magic to play this game. So that's how much I care. I thought Keyforge was great, and I still do.
Yeah.
So for the record,
you hope that this is part of their strategy, that their strategy is let it lay fallow, and then we want to start with a bang. Maybe. I don't know, right? Like, hey, maybe there's a concern, hey, you know, how can we get budget, right? Because they have to get budget. Unfortunately, it's a company, right? From you know, Mama and Papa Asmodee, right? Hey,
but I don't think that's a problem. Like, I would love to say that that's a problem, but we've seen Asmodee. Asmodee helped out the Italian live event, right? Mm-hmm. They came up. I don't know what they did for them.
They helped the French too.
Yeah, and then they helped the French, and not only that, they were running events in China. Was it China? China, right?
Yeah, China. Yep.
Asmodee was running events in China, and like we can't get that here. I don't understand that. Like that's so why is it they can get that there, but like we just get empty emails.
You're getting Asmodee a lot of credit because it was really the people that still ran those events. It wasn't.
No. But
they put their name on it and they got backed a little bit, but like for the most part, it was still the communities. It was the Italian ISOK. It was the French, Academy of Keyforge, AFK guys. It was like the Chinese have a very like set group of people, like the Andy Mings of the world and others that I don't know as well, but like they're basically over there like creating all this atmosphere, right? And it's always been driven by the people, not the companies. So like Keyforge is very much like a for the people kind of game because we are the people thing, and every game needs that, right? Because a game isn't a game without people, right? Like
every game needs its people. Like
has
there's
to be
no
playing
doubt.
So like I can't really just blame all of everything on FFG, but they carry a bigger burden of it because obviously there is like It's like if we're playing tug of war, they're the guy in the back, and they're supposed to be the anchor of the game pulling, and it's like all the work is being done by the guys up front, and he's in the back, like they're in the back, like eating a hamburger, waiting to pull. So we're getting tired out. We're about to get pulled off the Squid Game ledge and like die.
Oh,
and,
well, that's the biggest thing though too. You know, I'm just looking at an old tweet that I had put up, and it was about the French Championship, I think.
The one a few weeks ago.
Yeah, the French National Championship, and I guess it was put together by the community. But however, Asmodee, like, I don't know if they ponied up money or gave product or what. I don't know what they did. Right, I'm not 100% sure. But even like the Italian live event, right? Like I don't know what support was given, but something was given. Now, when we reached out to FFG during Keyforge Live, we couldn't even get an email back. Like, just to tell us no. Like,
hey, FFG, another grievance is why is it that we get more prize support from Luxurious Playstyle, just to throw their name out there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Than you. Those guys have been wonderful for the game, and if you didn't know, like they gave like I think at least $1,000 plus merch to you guys, right? And they've always supported the KFPL. Like Luxurious Playstyle, like you can say what you want about them, their product is quality. Yes, it's a little bit expensive, but like it's very worth the money you pay for it. And they support the game.
Yeah, they do. I don't know how much money. I don't know how much they gave us in prizes. I know what they gave us in cash, and I'm not going to put that out there. But I know what they gave us in prizes, or I don't know what they gave us in prizes. But yeah, they 100% support the game.
You got those tickets, raffle stuff. Like people were excited. Yeah.
We raffled off some keys. I think the winner of every main event got like at least a set of keys from them, bare minimum, with kind of that little framing thing, which actually was kind of cool because it was almost like a trophy then, right? Cool, It was pretty neat. Nice. I don't know, like I've never had anything bad to say about Luxurious Playstyles. Like they've always been great, and they've always been really responsive, even when they're not available. Strange story, they're responsive at least a little bit. Like, I guess my biggest grievance just was of that whole thing, like, just like, well, wow, the Italians and the French can get stuff, but we can't even get an email back. Like, just to be like, hey, we received your email, but we're not interested. Even that, the kick in the shin is better than anything else. I'm not sure. That's all I know. It was just... That was super irritating and frustrating for me.
It might be protocol too. They're very secretive. They hold a lot of things close to their chest, and like maybe they don't want to acknowledge you, because if they acknowledged you, they would have to infringe like IP on you, right? Like, or something. Like there could be reasons for their tactical silence at times, and you have to give them credit for being smarter business people than that.
They've been on the show.
Not my part. That's fine.
Brad has been on the show.
But Brad doesn't work for them anymore.
Well, not anymore. Okay, well, we've had
Josh
on the show.
Yeah,
who still works for them. We've had well, again, doesn't work for him anymore, but we had Alex on the show. I've reached out to I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. One of the game designers. Totally drawing a blank on his name. I apologize, but he has agreed to at some point come on the show.
Okay.
So, like, you can't say it was like it's a tactical silence. That doesn't make any sense. If that were the case, they would never come on the show.
Well, no, because coming on the show is different, because that's publicity and that's talking about the game and stuff like that. Whereas supporting an action that is not OP from their place is a completely different action, right? Like. And I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just giving hypotheticals, right? Like, I don't know what the deal is, right? Obviously, like, but I don't know. Like, it's what it is. I love Keyforge. I'm still here. I'm playing it. I still am playing in ABR. I'm still playing in Swindle League. Like, said, I'm running KFPL in March is when that is going to start. I will be doing videos of the games for Swindle in the Swindle League. So. There will be things going on with me, but in the end of all this, like Keyforge is still our game, right? Like,
yeah,
even even with the grievances, even with all the things that have happened in like this and that, we're still hopeful. And I think that is going to be an important part of the future of Keyforge, is the fact that loyalty in the way that we've been basically holding on to the game and basically giving our faith to the game will get paid off at some point, right?
I hope so. I really do.
We have to hope, right?
Because I would hate to sit here and, you know, I think the biggest grievance I have right now is we don't even have a timeline. We don't even have a semblance of a timeline. Like, we don't even have an idea. You know, I think at worst I think Drazcor, you, I, and Lokar were talking, and I think we kind of thought about a year would get everything back up and running.
Maybe. Yeah, it's really hard to say. Like, I couldn't
and that's
see software being built in less than a year.
Yeah, and I was thinking like a year for the software and all that to be built.
Yeah.
But then,
how long before had they started? Yeah,
you're talking probably about another year, maybe 6 months before they start getting stuff out.
Well,
right?
I will say that I would rather them not tell me something and wait for it and it come out and be awesome than for them to give me like timelines and then fail those timelines, because then like consumer confidence goes down even further. Like the idea that they're actually telling the truth goes away. So I am okay with them not getting overzealous in the thing, as long as when they give us the next bits of information and the next thing, that they're able to follow through with it strongly, right? Like without any kind of hiccups. That's like what I'm really looking for out of this, right? Like, I don't care how long it takes to a certain degree, but when it does come back, it needs to come back with like, you know, something that just like makes us go, man, FFG turned the page. They actually care about this game. They're actually caring about the community. They're actually doing the things that a gaming company should be doing for their people, right? Like, that's what I want, because like they've drowned a lot of games from what I've heard. And I would like to see them basically turn over a new leaf and have COVID basically rejuvenate their spirit as far as like what a gaming company should be and how it should, you know, carry itself. So that's maybe heavy, but like that's how I feel, because like I said, right now I don't have much confidence in anything, so I need something that's going to give me that confidence back.
Yeah, and with software, right, and I say this joke at work actually a decent amount, but it's actually not a joke, which is the hardest thing to do in software is estimating. It's harder.
Right.
It's harder than writing the code. Code's like the third hardest thing.
And I get it. Like, and I guess when I'm looking for a timeline, I guess I just kind of want some sort of semblance or idea of like what's going on. Like, even if you gave me a bullshit monthly article, right? Just, hey guys, you know, we're still here. Just kind of want to update you on the progress. Give me something.
That would be nice.
Give me a little something. Hey, you know, the developers are hard at work. Yada yada. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, just give me a little taste of like, okay, so they are still working. Because as it sits right now, it's like, man, are you guys even working on this? I wouldn't know, because you guys don't tell us.
Redacted. Who knows?
Well,
Who knows?
We'll see about all that. But like that's I think is the biggest thing. Like, there's no, and I don't know if FFG has always been bad at this. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. I don't, like, again, I guess I really don't know, because when I look back on a lot of this, I kind of think about, I kind of always look back at Star Wars. Was it Destiny? It was the dice game? And they kind of like just released a set, and then they're like, like 3 or 4 months later, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, that was the last set ever. And that's how they left it. And that's how they just did. That's how they ended that game.
Well, at least they haven't said that. So,
well, I mean, and it didn't. At the point, it didn't leave a bad taste in my mouth. I was like, oh, sucks to be those guys. But now I'm sitting here in their shoes, going, well. There seems to be a pattern here. You know, what is it? The fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Well, I guess it's never twice, because it's always a different game they kill, right?
Well, yeah, but like you kind of just keep looking at it. You're like, there seems to be a pattern, sir.
Yeah, unless you want to be editing a whole bunch, though, I think it's time to start to close up, right?
I
It
got
is.
one. I have a grievance.
We do have 10 minutes left, so Drazcor, what's your grievance, my guy?
Well, I got a lot of problems with you people, and now you're gonna hear it. That's what he says.
Yep.
With the listeners, is
What?
it good? Should I say problem with the listeners? Is this a bad
Sure.
move?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Nobody
No, it's
listens.
I know where this is going. This is beautiful. Go for it.
Nobody
This is
listens.
beautiful? Okay,
Just,
all right.
go for it.
I have a problem with the listeners who
Okay.
have thought about coming to play with us on our Discord and have said to themselves, I could make the time to do so, but have not. For those that you have, thank you. It's been great. It's been great meeting you, great playing with you. It's a good time. For those that you haven't yet, I encourage you, be the Festivus miracle. Come play with us. There's a lot of good folks, lots of good chatter. Sometimes people are bringing terrible Pit Lord decks. Sometimes you get decks that are really, really strong. It's everything in between. If you've got, just a few decks, you've got something you can play with us. We've got Sealed Nights. We've got Archon Nights. It's a lot of fun. Come on out and join the Discord. Have a good time. And let's see, what are our times? We play at, and I said it wrong on the Discord the other day, right? So it's Central Time, right? So
It's all
9,
Central Time, yeah.
8? Wait.
8
p.m. Central Time on Sunday and Tuesday. Sunday is Archon.
Yep.
Tuesday is Sealed.
Yep.
It's earlier on Wednesday. It is, 7 Central?
I believe it's 7, yeah.
Yeah, but show up a few minutes early, right? So that, because we...
Lokar was
right
here and then he left, so unfortunately...
Yeah, he heard you complaining.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm out.
I'm all... Well, either way, Wednesday, I believe, is sealed. Tuesday and Wednesday are sealed.
That's right.
And then Sunday is Archon.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
I was really drawing a blank on that one, but it's Archon.
Yeah, and we do get people in, right? We get 2 new folks joined us this Tuesday. Well, one person played with us, another person sort of listened in and started chatting with us and stuff, and they said they're going to try to play in the future. So we do get people, but I encourage you, come on out and play with us. That's how we keep the game alive.
And I encourage... Oh, go ahead.
Well, yeah, where did you think I was going to go, Jupiter?
And here I thought you were going to go with the, we always ask you for feedback and we always ask you for things that would make the show better and to basically give us some dialogue and get more conversation going. And I never, ever, in the whole 2 years I've been doing different podcasts, hardly have I ever got anybody to talk to us about it. So,
do you want to answer the emails?
Oh, I would love to.
Oh, I might let you.
I don't know if you want me to, but
actually, I'm not gonna lie. I don't really answer a whole lot of them.
Wait! Weren't you just complaining about somebody not answering emails?
All right. Well, I mean, when I say I don't answer them, there's usually some sort of snarky remark that comes back. So it's not. No, I mean, we do answer your emails over at archonscorner at gmail.com. You can email us there. Comments, questions, concerns. Typically, most of them, what we get is, we'll like a week like this week will be interesting because we kind of did 50% like nice and 50% naughty, right? Tis the season. But like when it comes down to some things, like 1 week we'll be talking about something like, I don't even know what to say. Like, it's just there is no negative or positive to it. Like when we were doing we did a top 10 list or some sort of like that, and they're like, I can't believe you let FFG off the hook. Yeah. And then like they're like, oh, you should have totally lamb blasted them. But then like 2 weeks later, we will lamb blast them for something. Because they've probably made a poor decision, as is what FFG does. And like then we'll get like, oh, I can't believe you guys are too mean to them. This is why they don't like you.
I mean, you can never make everybody happy.
You can't make everyone happy. We get a mix of emails that are, you're too negative, you're too positive. Sometimes they don't like, and I'm going to say it now, because God knows you didn't make it all the way to the end of the episode. Some people don't like how I title things. My response to that is too bad.
Actually, that's the second hardest thing in software, by the way, is
Titles?
naming. Yeah, naming stuff is really hard. Like a good name, hard. So yeah, estimation, naming, the code, that's like number 3.
Yeah, and a good name, man. I might have to sleep on it for a day or two.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Totally.
Like, you got to think of a nice, provocative, thought-engaging name. And clearly I've done that because that's a majority of the messages I get. I shouldn't even say that's probably not a majority. I've never done the math. For those of you who know, Archon's Corner no do math. We just kind of eyeball the numbers and go from there. But either way, it's interesting. I should give it to Jupiter. I should let you do it, and kind of you can go take a look, and I think you'll find a lot of interesting stuff in there. But either way, I encourage you to not only come play with us, but you can check us out over at our social media at archonscorner.com on Facebook, Twitter, the Tubes of You. We're also on there. You can find all the episodes over there. Also on Patreon, if you guys want to help support us. Patreon is the nicest way to do as such. You also get ad-free episodes every single week, except for like the weird weeks where like it's Christmas and stuff. No, you might not get an episode that week. Just saying.
We still have that lost episode.
There is still a lost episode out there. I might just put that on the Patreon for people to listen to. Because I was going to post it, and I didn't post it, and then things went sideways in the old personal life, so it was what it was. Jupiter, where can I find you on all of the medias of social?
On Twitter, you can find me at KeyforgeL, because that's all that fit. And then you can find me at kfpl.site. That is my site for KFPL and all things KFPL. And if you want to find me on Discord, it's just Jupiter #0750. You can hit me up for anything, and then it's Jupiter on Facebook. And if you see me in the groups and stuff, I am doing a deck of day sale for all through this month. So I'm putting up a deck for auction starting at $5 with dollar increments all month long. So and some pretty doozies up there for grabs. So make sure you take a look.
Drazcor, where can we find you?
Well, I'm Drazcor, and that's where I am on Discord. So
and that's about it.
Yeah, I'm not super involved in
we need to teach you to tweet.
To tweet. I mean, I consume tweets, but I don't produce tweets.
Are you on Twitter?
Yes, I've never tweeted.
Why not?
Because then I'm publishing stuff to people, and I guess I do this now. I don't know.
Yeah, like I don't know. Dan has a Twitter. Dan tweeted once, he's like, Ryan's going to yell at me because I did it wrong. And I'm like, and you did do it wrong.
He didn't at you, probably.
He didn't at me, but it was what it was. All right, guys. I want to thank everybody for joining us in the live chat tonight. Really do appreciate it. If you do want to listen to us live, we are live almost every Thursday at 8:30. Today was 9 o'clock, but, late stuff. Normally, the normal crew is here. You guys got anything else before we kind of get out of here? Final thoughts? We got a couple minutes left. If you got final thoughts, now's your time.
All right, so we're taking down the Festivus poll.
Yep.
Where in the Keyforge universe are you putting it?
I had such a good idea. What is the Logos card? You get to put one ember on it. Not
safe
hideaway,
place.
Safe place. No, is Safe Place the Logos one, or is that the Shadows one?
That's Safe House.
Oh,
That's
Safe
also
House.
A good answer.
I'm going with Safe House.
Okay. All right. Jude, where are you putting it?
Someplace I can't say with kids around. But it requires your bottom side.
I'm sure it does. I'm glad how we were on the same page on that one. Drazcor, where do you put your Festivus aluminum pole?
The hideaway hole.
The hideaway hole. That's a good one.
Which is maybe the same place Jupiter's talking about. I don't know.
Depends on what kind of Keyforge you're playing. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us this week. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see y'all next time.
Happy fortune, everyone.
Catch you on the flip side.
Hit up the hit like I cannot miss Jack Harlow. You really should have got me on this. For real, let me chill. I'ma mind my beeswax. Please pass me the weed, I need that. Gotta keep it on Dre, that's 3 stacks. Heard the beat, got the chills and relapse. Smirk it.